Again, we got Joe Murray, Jim Murray in our Town Fair Tire Studios in Waltham. I am remote. Chris Gasper is remote. Your thought on the Jaylen Brown situation this week? It's a big one.
Yeah, I think it is a big one because it sort of speaks to, with these two guys, look, we solved the issue of can they coexist together on the court and can they win? That now has been determined beyond a doubt. They won a championship together. So the question is not about if they break up, will it be for basketball reasons or they don't fit together? They do fit together. But I think that this is a big deal because Tatum, I think unintentionally here, has a habit of not really expressing very well publicly how much he values this relationship. And the question for these guys now isn't about can they win, it's how many will they win. And that question is directly related to how long can they stay together. And I think what happened this week with the Olympic team is not great towards that. I'm not saying they're going to break up, but it's interjecting an issue into this that the Celtics don't really need. And
well,
when I just look at, go ahead.
Well, I'm just happy. Why? So when I ask you about the Jaylen Brown situation, you say
yes.
you bring in Tatum. So you think this is a Tatum story as much as anything?
Yes, I do, because I think it's about the both of them. It's about the both, because here's the thing for me. For me, still too often, Tatum acts like he's part of a solo act and not a great duet. And he's part of a great duet. It's not about Tatum, it's about the tandem. That's what won the championship. And I thought his response when asked about Brown not being on the team was tepid at best. Now, admittedly, he's in a difficult spot, right? I get it. He doesn't want to alienate any teammates who are already on the team. He certainly doesn't want to alienate Derek White. But there's a needle that you can thread there that's not really that hard, where you say, look, Jaylen's definitely one of the 12 best players in the NBA. I'd love to have him here, but this is the team we have. I love playing with these guys. Everybody on this team is more than capable of representing the U.S. and us winning a gold medal. And I know, someday Jaylen's going to get his gold medal too. Something like that. But instead, his whole response was just really, really tepid. And he has a habit of kind of not going to bat for this guy. And I don't know if he realizes it or not, Tatum, but he has a habit of not going to bat for Brown or not being sensitive to the things Brown is dealing with in their relationship. For example, remember a couple of summers ago when there were all the rumors about Kevin Durant coming to Boston and that Jaylen Brown was who the Nets were asking for to go back? Well, then, Tatum is posting on social media stuff that he's working out with Kevin Durant. And it's like, that's just, look, you can work out with Kevin Durant, but that can't get out at the same time this type of stuff is happening. And so it sort of goes back to just the overall lukewarm support he offered for Brown and his case for the Olympic team. I just don't think is great or really bodes well long-term for their relationship. In 2024, 2025, is it going to be an issue? No, it's fine. They'll be fine. But just long-term, keeping this thing together. We saw this with the Patriots, didn't we? Right? Everybody says, oh, no big deal. Oh, media, you're exaggerating. Oh, it's kumbaya at the time. And then when it breaks up, it turns out each side was keeping track of every little slight along the way, and every little slight was one little nudge out the door.
Yeah, so again, I love this because this speaks to my theory yesterday that I don't know, like you want to say I pull it out of my ass, fine. I'm just going with my gut here and the human nature of the whole situation. I think Jayson Tatum's passively selfish, Chris, for what you're saying here. I think there's not any outward malice to what he does, but I do think that he's passively selfish. After Kawhi Leonard withdrew, what if Grant Hill, who's a Duke guy, by the way, keep that in mind, and he in Olympic basketball went to Tatum, asked for his input between Derek White, Jaylen Brown, and Tatum chose his good friend. Jimmy Stewart believes those two are really good friends instead of the guy who, we did this together, we won together, but this is going to be different. You did kind of steal my playoff shine a little bit. It would have been nice if I was the finals MVP too, but you got it. But this is something different for me. So if I'm in Jayson Tatum's shoes, I just always think of the inherent selfishness of mankind, Chris. So I would say, like, okay, we did that together, and that's great. And I'd put myself on the back burner a little bit so that we could achieve the greater good, and we won that championship. But now, this is my time, not yours, Jaylen Brown. You're not screwing up my Nike deal. You're sure as hell not going to be outshining me again on the floor again. Been there, done that. This is separate. I'm doing my own thing here. So I'd rather have my buddy Derek White than you.
Yeah, does feel that way a little bit, And I don't think it's like you said. It's not. I don't think Jayson Tatum is an actively selfish guy. But I do think he has all these career goals, right? Like, I know he's super excited about being on the cover of 2K for 2025, and that's a big deal to him. And he's accomplished all these things, and he does all of these things in terms of advertising, and he wants to be the face of the league and all that, and that's fine. But you have to understand, if you're going to be the face of the league, then everything you do and say is going to be scrutinized, including cases like this, when essentially it's a softball asking you to go to bat for Jaylen Brown and why he should be on the team. And you start out with, I haven't talked to him, which, look, kudos to JT for telling the truth, but he looks kind of sheepish, when he does it and starts rubbing his head. Like, that's not a great look. I haven't talked to him, so that's not great. And then it's just really sort of tepid, lukewarm. Yeah, is it hard not having him here? Yeah, but, there's a lot of guys that could, fill this. I just think there's a better way to do it. And I do think, to your point, Murray, that there is an element here of Tatum where he evaluates himself and looks at himself, like I said, as sort of a solo act and a solo star, and not part of a duet and a tandem that led the Celtics to a championship.
Chris, do you think Jaylen Brown was being a bad teammate this week to Derek White?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I don't think that was intentional, but I have to be consistent. If I'm going to criticize, Jayson Tatum, I don't think for Jaylen Brown to put out a cryptic post like that and not clearly spell out that he supports Derek White and Derek White being on the team, and he appreciates why Derek White is on the team and what Derek White did for the Celtics. I do, and he turned the discussion away from, Derek White's being rewarded for the season he had being on the Olympic team, into a Jaylen Brown snub situation, which is accurate. It is a Jaylen Brown snub situation, but still, I think there's a better way to thread that needle. There's a better way to present it. So yes, I do think he was a bad teammate to Derek White.
Yeah, I mean, that one, again, I'm just reading into the inherent selfishness of man and how people usually think. I can't help but think, if I'm in Jaylen Brown's shoes, like that tweet at Nike, this is what we're doing. What was missing there was ... this bum. And so it's tough that it's this teammate of his, that I'm sure he doesn't feel that way, but that's how it reads. Like, you're picking this guy over me, this lesser than player than me. Come on, this is what we're doing.
If anything, I think the ... would be, this is what we're doing, Nike ... and JT.
Yeah.
To me, I think that's the ellipsis.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing, Nike. Because here's the other thing I'll say. Tatum, again, he's in competition for face of the league. He's going to be on these Olympic teams. USA Basketball needs him moving forward. So you mean to tell me if he went to them and said, I really want Jaylen on this team, that Grant Hill, and I know you mentioned this a little bit before, Jim, that Grant Hill's going to be like, no, I just don't think he fits. The pieces don't fit. And you can make the argument that's not Tatum's place, and maybe that's just not the nature of their relationship, where he would feel like this is somebody I need to or should go to bat for. But it would be really nice if he did feel that way. And I think it would behoove him long term. And I think it would behoove the Celtics long term in terms of trying to stack as many championships as possible if he did feel that way and if he did behave that way.
Well, he did say that yesterday, guys, by the way. When they asked him,
what did he say?
They said, have you talked to Jaylen Brown? He said, no. Do you miss him not being here? Yes, I miss him not being here. He said that.
He said, yeah.
He said he missed him. He said he missed him that he's not there.
Joe, I could be wrong. I mean, I maybe I'm not seeing the right clip, but the clip, are you talking about in response to the question from Chris Forsberg?
Yeah, we have it.
He doesn't say, yeah, I missed him. I don't think that's what he says. I think he says, yeah.
He's like,
I think he just says, yeah.
He's kind of fumbling around.
I don't think he says, yeah, I missed him. But we got the clip. I could be wrong. Could be selective hearing.
Kevin, let me know when you have the clip. You're talking to Joe and Skaz, who they don't want to.
I just think that making it a story about Tatum is what you guys are doing. I think this is not about basketball at all. I think this is about Team USA boycotting Jaylen Brown for having an opinion that they don't agree with, and he's not Team Nike. That's the story. But if you want to make it about Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown's relationship, go ahead.
Okay, I think they are. So we are definitely going to go ahead.
We're going to do that because that's what's with every NBA duo ever. Did people make it about Kobe and Shaq? They did. Did people make it about Brady and Belichick? They did.
Yeah.
And those people were proven right. And people with the take you just gave, Joe, were all proven wrong every time.
Yeah. I'm just giving you the facts that Jaylen Brown said he wanted to be on Team USA. Were you at Media Day? At Media Day, he said, I want to be on Team USA. He was a part of the pool. They never allowed him to be part of Team USA. So I am Team Jaylen on this one. He is being boycotted. That's the story. The story is that Jaylen Brown, with his freedom of speech and his opinions, is not allowed on Team USA. It has nothing to do with basketball. It has nothing to do with Jayson Tatum or Derek White. It's the fact that Team USA doesn't want Jaylen Brown. And, oh, by the way, Steve Kerr, have you ever heard him talk about the world and his opinions on politics?
It's true.
That's what
Very
this
true.
is all about. So don't. Please, I know you guys are very successful at making stories about star players because it will be a story. But this story's not about basketball or Jayson Tatum.
Well, why do you keep saying it? Everyone agrees that it's not about basketball. Like, I don't know what you're ranting about there. I mean, I don't care about the basketball. I don't care about Team USA beating Lithuania by 45 points. We're not talking about
it's about their ethics here. Like, since when does Nike actually have ethics? That's what Jaylen Brown's saying. So you guys mean to tell me that when Jayson Tatum says, "Yeah, I haven't talked to him," he's the guy that's doing the company line here. Like, that's why Jaylen Brown's not there, right? Because he doesn't ride the company line. He doesn't say what he's supposed to say.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. That's a big part of it.
That's the story. It's not Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum wanted his buddy there, but he can't be there.
But why is that?
Well, how do you know that,
Joe?
Yeah, how do you know that?
We'll play the clip. He said it yesterday. They asked him.
Okay, all right,
literally
shush.
asked him.
Shush, go ahead, Kev.
No.
Did you talk about having Jaylen here?
Yeah. I mean, there's so many guys that could, take the last spot or whatever. So, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. Yes,
Joe,
it is.
What are you talking about? What? Yes, it is what?
Is it hard not having Jaylen Brown here? Yes, it is. That's what he said. He answered the question.
Did you talk about having Jaylen here?
Yeah. I mean, there's so many guys that could.
Hold on. I thought the question was you talk about having Jaylen here. You talk about having Jaylen here? Is that what he says?
Yeah. Is it tough not?
No, he says, "Is it tough not having Jaylen?"
Is it tough not? I'm sorry.
And he says yes. And then at the end of it, at the very end, he says, "Yes, it is."
He said,
Why are we
but he doesn't say, "Yes, I miss him," which is what you said before.
But that's what you
At
want.
no point does he
That's
say,
what
"Yes,
you
I
want.
miss him."
I'm giving you what I think he said. He said,
you
yes,
told me
it
you were
is.
giving me.
No,
you told me
you
you were
said
giving
earlier
me
yesterday
facts,
that he
and you
missed
said
him. Yeah.
he said factually, "Yes, I miss him." I'm giving you facts. He never said factually.
So yes, it is how
Facts.
you interpret things now. Yes, it is how I interpret it.
And I interpret
he misses
that as
him.
real wishy-washy.
You said he said words that he never said, Joe. So if we're going to play the facts game, factually, he did not say what you said he said.
So when they asked him, "Do you miss Jaylen?" and he says, "Yeah," you don't buy it?
And then, no, I think he does. But then he immediately pivoted to, but there's a lot of guys who...
Because of his teammate, Derek White, because he respects his teammates.
And he
respects his teammates.
That's great. Respect your teammate, but there's a better way to respect both of them. His answer was not good.
Because he toes the line for Nike and himself.
So now, okay, so then he's putting himself. Okay, so you're right. So this goes to what Jim Murray said. So because he's passively selfish, he's going to put his own interest ahead of his teammate, ahead of Jaylen Brown.
Because it's cool to be in the club. It's cool to be in the club.
So he's going to put his relationship with Nike and his own thing ahead of his relationship with Brown, which won the team the championship.
Because he said,
right?
yes, he does miss him.
He didn't say yes, he does.
He says, yes, he is. All right. We all hear things differently, right? I think he misses him because he's saying he misses his guy.
Well, I
don't
never
want
heard that question.
I agree with what you're saying. I'm just saying it sounds a lot better. Words matter, right? And it sounds a lot better if he says, yeah, I miss him. He never said the words, I miss him. He just said the question. The question
was, do you miss him?
No, the question was not that, Joe. The question was, is it tough not having him here? And he said, yeah.
Okay.
Again,
it's tough not having him there.
So that 0 for 2. That wasn't the question, and those weren't the words he said. We'll try again next block.
You should listen to the night show. It's like Mr. Rogers' Land of Make Believe. There's no.
No, the night show's very good.
I don't want to hear any controversy related to the Celtics. No, and I do too. But Joe started the week, or one day, is really like, I don't care about the story. I don't care about the story. It feels like you care deeply about this story.
I don't because of this.
Do you know why, Joe? It's interesting. It's an interesting story.
You never cared about who made Team USA in your life. You never cared about it. You never did. All of you guys have never cared about who makes Team USA.
I definitely cared. In 1992,
I cared because I got my McDonald's cup and I didn't want Christian Laettner. I wanted Shaq. That's who I wanted.
You think that's what this is about?
This is about Team USA and the club.
No, it's not.
It's about the club.
Not.
They're boycotting Jaylen Brown because of money and Nike, and that's why.
Joe, I don't care about who's on Team USA basketball. I don't care about Team USA basketball. I care about Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, and I care about
that's what you
Jaylen Brown
care about.
being boycotted. I care about Jaylen Brown being boycotted because of business or Nike or some personality conflict. That to me is an interesting story, and I am a talk show host, not just a baby fan who doesn't want to hear negative, controversial things about the Celtics.
Again,
it's an interesting story, Joe.
Stories, facts, whatever you want to call it here. I think Jaylen Brown's being boycotted, and that's a fact.
Yeah,
that is a fact.
Joe's right about that.
We do all agree with that, right, Chris? You don't think
we do
he's off the team
no.
for anything other than it's not a basketball reason he's off, right?
No, it's not. No, Joe's right about that. I would just say, like, from my standpoint, what Joe's saying is right about the facts of why he's not on the team. I guess my point would just be that, unfortunately, as part of this, the Celtics have become collateral damage. I mean, he's absolutely right factually in terms of why Brown's not there. But then what we're more interested in as Boston fans and people who care about the Celtics is the collateral damage, which is like the Celtics part of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So two things can be true. What Joe's saying is true about the facts of like why Jaylen Brown's not there. But I think what we're saying is also true about the collateral damage that now, could affect the Celtics potentially.
And to that, I will add, enjoy your one title, because that's all you're getting.
Wow.
I just want to see the Murray and Skaz transcript of that press conference. I don't know even though that was the question. But either way.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Celtics analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.